GMC Hoops presents a special boys basketball clash between the second-ranked team in New Jersey, the Patrick School, and the New Brunswick Zebras. It's great to have you with us. My name is James Karg, and this is the first time that GMC Hoops has ever produced a non-conference game for a Middlesex County team, and it doesn't take a keen eye to see why when you have the return of the #1 junior in the nation, Jonathan Kuminga, to the floor for the Patrick School. Kuminga, the 6'9" junior, only appeared in 6 games this season for TPS before being injured in the team's nationally televised contest January the 3rd against Sierra Canyon. The Patrick School coming off of a 43-40 victory over Roselle Catholic on the weekend. New Brunswick 13-2 coming in, the #4 ranked team in Middlesex County, but they are missing one of their top 2. Tajay Moore suspended for this game after being ejected in the team's last game, a loss to Immaculata High School on the weekend. Moore, the 6'8" senior who just committed to Rutgers for football, not on the floor tonight for New Brunswick. Jonathan Kuminga is not starting this game for the Patrick School. We do expect him to play and appear for the first time in over a month. But who is starting for the Patrick School is, of course, of great note, Zarik Nutter at guard along with Kirk Parsons. Adama Sanogo, the big man in the middle, the 6'9" junior, along with Noah Farrakhan and Samson Johnson. And this may be the biggest height differential we have ever seen in a tip-off. Josiah Brown at 5'9", not contesting the tip, with 6'9" Samson Johnson. The Patrick School begins the proceedings in this one. This is the first game the Patrick School will play in the regular season against a GMC opponent since 2013, as the first shot from Sanogo did not find the rim. Javon Taylor slices his way through, his pass tipped. In the end, it's Nadir Harmon. Ion Brown-Miller, we've seen his heroics on this broadcast earlier this year as Taylor will fire the 3. Zarik Nutter, the 6'5" junior, has an offer from the likes of UMass, averaging nearly 14 a game. Sanogo misses the hook, but cleaning up the glass, Samson Johnson, 6'9", in his 10th game of the year, averaging 11 points per game. He's been hot of late. Holds an offer from UConn. On the elbow, Will Britton, the transfer from North Brunswick High School. Brown-Miller, the step back. The long lob and the finish from Nutter. The Patrick School, the #2 ranked team in New Jersey. They were the preseason #1 team in the eyes of many of the favorites to capture the second TOC in the head coaching career of Chris Javanis in his 9th season. TPS in a zone. Nice active defense from Noah Farrakhan, the 6'3" senior. Sanogo, the easy jam. And an early 6-0 lead for the Patrick School in a rare visit to Middlesex County. Harmon finds Brown-Miller, who will fire from 30. Sanogo, a top 50 junior in his own right. The lob will go beyond Samson Johnson. Adama Sanogo, a 4-star prospect, currently holds 9 offers from power conference teams. Against Roselle Catholic, a monster game he had, 17 points and 23 rebounds. Nearly a walk from Nadir Harmon, the 6'1" senior, averaging 10 a game. From the corner, it is Harmon. Chris Javanis will call time as his team is off to a rollicking start as expected. So with that, we'd like to remind you that this game, as usual, is brought to you by the Express Athletic Center, the premier sports destination in Central Jersey. The Express Athletic Center, 22,000 square foot indoor facility specializing in making sure every person coming through its doors enjoys all that sports and fitness have to offer. President's Day Basketball Clinic registration is open now. Sign up at the expressathleticcenter.com. We've yet to see Jonathan Kuminga. For those who have tuned in, waiting to see the top player in New Jersey take the floor for the first time in over a month. Noah Farrakhan, who holds offers from the likes of Seton Hall and Rutgers, has it straight on. Good ball movement for TPS. The three from the corner is true. Samson Johnson at 6'9", adept from beyond the arc. He scored 9 in the game against Roselle Catholic. The three from Will Britton won't go. It's not been a traditional schedule this year for the Patrick School. The only teams from Union County that they've faced, the only games they've had against teams from Union County have been both of their affairs with Roselle Catholic. A largely out-of-state schedule and in-state games against non-NJSIAA teams as Brown Miller, no look. Javon Taylor starts the scoring for the Zebras. Assist number 1 for Ayan Brown Miller. Averages 7.5 of those per contest. The 5'10" senior undoubtedly will be named first team All-County by the end of this year. Nutter, the fade. Sanogo hit on the arm and finishes. Adama Sanogo, easy as you like, averaging 18 points and 12 rebounds per game. At the midway point in the first quarter, 11-2 TPS. Sanogo, 26 points he had and 12 rebounds against IMG Academy, currently the number 3 ranked team in the nation according to the Ball is Life Fab 50. Patrick School, the 25th team in the nation according to the same ranking, as Ayan Brown Miller on the board for the first time and getting ready to check in 5 different players for the Patrick School, but notably the first appearance of the season for Jonathan Kuminga since January the 3rd. The Euro step down the lane, but Harmon couldn't finish. The lob, Sanogo, and the putback jam by Zarik Nutter. Three and a half left in the first quarter, but for many who may be tuning in, the game is about to begin on the next whistle as the easy fast break layup for Kirk Parsons, the senior transfer from Newark West Side. Harmon thought about the three over the much bigger Zarik Nutter. Taylor will operate inside. An undermanned New Brunswick team. This is without the services of the 6'8" Tajay Moore. Brown Miller can't find his second three of the evening. As Jonathan Kuminga waits at the scorer's table to check in and is witnessing a good show, Samson Johnson with the jam. Will Britton will tee it up. Will Britton, who had a big season last year at North Brunswick High School before transferring. And all the way down, Noah Farrakhan. Farrakhan has 17 Division I offers. Seton Hall and Rutgers among them as Britton is fouled by Sanogo. And finally, we get our first look at the big man number 1. There he is, Jonathan Kuminga, the top-ranked player in the nation in the class of 2021. He's on with 4 new players for the Patrick School, 4 other new players, a completely new 5. Kuminga wearing a brace on his left ankle, the ankle that he injured against Sierra Canyon. Taji Welcome is in for the first time for New Brunswick, number 15 in gray. Brown Miller at 5'10", trying to slice through the trees, but can't find the room. He finds the room to fire from distance. Mutombo couldn't corral originally. Bretner Mutombo, 6'11" junior. Mohamed Sow can't finish at the rim. And the Celtics commit the foul in the backcourt. A lot to prepare for coming up for the Patrick School this weekend. They are competing at the Metro Classic. 2 big contests they will have. Harmon to Will Britton. Those are the shots that New Brunswick needs to go down if they are to have any chance of competing in this one. And Samir Sanu will call timeout for New Brunswick. Sanu in his 4th year as the head man of New Brunswick, the brother of Patriots wide receiver Mohamed Sanu, the star quarterback at South Brunswick before starring at Rutgers. Of course, his brother Mohamed, a star with the Atlanta Falcons before his trade this past year to the Patriots. Sanu, one of the calmer demeanors that you'll find in the head coaching ranks in Middlesex County. And one of the sharpest dressed coaches as well. Kuminga has yet to touch the ball so far for the Patrick School. But that changes right now, as it is he who will bring it up. His team leading by 11, closing in on a minute left in the first quarter. Moving the ball against the zone for New Brunswick. Kuminga thought about the 3. Instead, Chris Zhao will miss it short. Zhao, 6'11" junior out of China. Britton will try again. This time he connects. The iron friendly at home. Will Britton with his 2nd 3-point make of the game. Jalen Irby feigned the 3. Now it's Kuminga. Zhao has it poked away by Welcome for New Brunswick. Britton for his 3rd 3. Got it! Starting to fire up this crowd here. Will Britton with 3 3-point makes in the first quarter. 10 seconds remaining. Kuminga will make his move to the rack. Fouled and won. The first basket for Jonathan Kuminga in over a month's time. The transfer from Our Savior New American High School, along with his teammate Adama Sanogo. And Kuminga completes the 3-point play. Harmon back in for New Brunswick. Last year, Kuminga played alongside some very good teammates with Our Savior. 5 seconds left for Brown Miller. All the way to the rack. Brown Miller finishes at the buzzer. Aon Brown Miller, just as he did earlier this year against North Brunswick at the buzzer to send that game to double OT. Brown Miller coast to coast in the blink of an eye, but as expected, it's been all Patrick School for the most part. 22-16, they lead at the end of 1. This game is being brought to you by Civilli Cucina Italiana, where you could go every Sunday for Family Style Sunday. Just $30 per person, the best portions for the best prices. 154 Main Street in Metuchen, in the premier Italian restaurant in Middlesex County. Civilli Cucina Italiana, where every night is a feast. No shortage of eyeballs on the Patrick School this season. Came in largely decreed as the favorite in New Jersey to win the TOC title, but they've been replaced as the #1 team by Camden High School just last week after their emphatic victory over Roselle Catholic, a team that the Patrick School completed the season sweep of with a 43-40 victory, coming, of course, without Kuminga. Adama Sanogo with 17 points, 23 rebounds in that contest. New Brunswick will begin the proceedings against this long Patrick School zone. Kuminga up top, surely looking to poke the ball and go all the way for the jam. Welcome can't find the rim. The big man Zhao picks it up. From the corner, Irby comes up short. Two Patrick School players fighting for it. And getting tied up, Muhammad Saul, the 6'8" senior, making his 10th appearance of the season. Saul has been offered by the likes of Ole Miss. The arrow favors the Celtics. The ball is entered in down low, but taken away by Brown Miller. Gonna go to work on Kuminga, all the way in on the nation's top player, but can't finish. And it's taken by Irby the other way. No look from Kuminga, but Sal wasn't ready for it. This is largely a tune-up for the Patrick School for this weekend's Metro Classic, an event which will feature Sierra Canyon as Britton for his 4th three can't connect. Patrick School will play Huntington Prep in a game broadcast on ESPN3. Emphatically knocked away from Mutombo, but Kuminga will fire straight on and hit from deep. .634 left in the second quarter. The 9-point edge to the Patrick School against the 13-2 New Brunswick Zebras. It's Harmon. He cannot respond from three. Kuminga again trying to find Sao down low, but it'll go back to the Zebras. Patrick School will take on Huntington Prep on Friday. And then they will battle the 6th-ranked team in New Jersey, Wildwood Catholic, on Saturday. As 4 new players in for the Patrick School, replacing all on the floor except for Jonathan Kuminga. Nutter, Parsons, Sanogo, and Farrakhan are back in. Knocked away by Sanogo, taken away by Nutter for Kuminga. Brown Miller, no fear in the eyes of Brown Miller. At just 5'10", he has more than shined for the Zebras this year. 19.5 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 7.5 assists. Not the best of passes from Noah Farrakhan, taken by Nadir Harmon, the Euro from Harmon. Knocked out of the hands of Samson Johnson. Will Britton goes up for the ball. Britton slices through, his runner won't go. His putback. Will Britton will go to the line for 2. Last year averaged over 10 a game in his time with North Brunswick High School. Britton's only appeared in 1 game so far this year for New Brunswick. It was the game against Immaculata, the loss on the weekend, where he added 14 points to the effort. 5.5 left in the second quarter. Britton has 10, and Kuminga has 8 for the Patrick School. Sanogo, his floater won't go, tipped out, and it'll go back to the Zebras. Ion Brown Miller. Harmon nearly got away with the travel. Welcome will work on the 6'9", Samson Johnson. Go all the way, but Johnson just picking that one out of the air. As if he were swatting a fly. 4:48 left in the second. Still just an 8-point game. Crowd getting fired up. Ion Brown Miller fouled from behind by Noah Farrakhan. Farrakhan in his 12th appearance of the season. New Brunswick trying to add some size onto the floor. Manny Rojas checking in, number 50, just a freshman. We haven't seen him too much this year for New Brunswick. Brown Miller again working on Farrakhan, but Farrakhan slams the door. It'll stay with the Zebras. Farrakhan has scored as many as 19 this year, that coming against McGeerchin of Georgia. The crossover, the three. Ion Brown Miller electrifies here in New Brunswick. He knows this is a big occasion, and he has stepped up big. Just a 5-point game. Sanogo, however, will make it a 7-point game. Britton doubled, poked away. Farrakhan all the way. Under 4 left in the second quarter. That is something New Brunswick cannot afford to do, turn the ball over and have it lead to emphatic dunks. Brown Miller doubled up top. Finds Rojas, surely a goaltend. Kuminga getting it off the glass. Count the basket for the freshman Manny Rojas, who has played sparingly this year for the Zebras. Zarik Nutter will exit. Kirk Parsons back in. Stepped up big last year, did he, for Newark Westside, leading them to the Group 2 championship game. The catch in the finish and the foul. Samson Johnson will head to the line for the 3-point play. Rojas picks up the foul. It was a high ankle sprain that Kuminga suffered against Sierra Canyon. He hasn't exerted himself too much, just getting back into the flow of the game. Did not start this game. Brown, the brave drive. Harmon, the step back. Patrick School will look to run. The lob, the jam for Samson Johnson. 3 minutes left in quarter number 2. And number 2 in New Jersey starting to click. The steal and the finish. Kirk Parsons joins the party. Brown Miller fouled underneath by Sanogo. He and Kuminga coming from our Xavier New American, playing along the likes of Fusini and Hassan Drame. 2 players, 2 twins that have helped change St. Peter's University, and head coach Shaheen Holloway leading them right now to the first place in the MAC. The top 10 schools for Kuminga. No shortage of blue bloods as Brown Miller steps up again and knocks down another triple. 2.5 left in the second quarter. Brown Miller now with 13. And that visual says it all. 5'10" Brown Miller trying to poke it away from a much bigger opponent, and he did get the deflection on the play taken away by Britton. Britton hounded by Kirk Parsons. What a move. Will Britton is denied at the rim by Johnson. And it's Kuminga the other way. The lob, a bit too high. Zhao trying to track it down, but instead it's Brown Miller. Under 2 left in the first half. A 10-point affair between New Brunswick and the Patrick School. Brown Miller calls for the screen, gets it from the freshman Rojas. The 15-footer. Kuminga going up for the rebound and is fouled. The 4th team foul on New Brunswick. Nutter will re-enter. He'll replace Noah Farrakhan. The Patrick School According to the latest PowerPoints, projected to be the number 2 seed in the non-public North B section. Gil St. Bernard's will garner the top seed, which will mean that it'll likely be the Celtics facing the Roselle Catholic Lions for at least the 3rd time in the States, as the and 1 will count for Zarik Nutter. .120 left in the first half. Chris Javanis wants a timeout. Chris Javanis in his 9th season after taking over for the legend Kevin Boyle. 4 times he's won the Union County Tournament, and 2017 the TOC champions. Of course, when you think of the Patrick School, you think of all the greats that have come before: Kyrie Irving, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Al Harrington, but in recent years, that tradition has continued with Javanis himself. Down low, Johnson finishes. So Johnson finishing on the other end. Josiah Brown swatted away by Zarik Nutter. But for those who tuned in, wishing to watch Jonathan Kuminga's return, he has certainly put on a show, but Ion Brown Miller of New Brunswick making sure he is not forgotten about. Johnson will spin, and the travel will be called first by the referee at midcourt. 32 seconds left here in the first half. Again, we apologize if you experienced a delay a moment ago. Under 30 left in half number 1. New Brunswick has shown its mettle so far against the nation's 25th ranked team, the state's 2nd ranked team. Brown Miller will make his move again behind the back, but lost it at the end to Johnson. Nutter to the rack. 7 seconds for Ion Brown Miller, working on Kuminga. And the crazy heave will not find Kuminga. So that'll do it for half number 1. 43-29 in favor of the Patrick School. Jonathan Kuminga with 13 points in his return to the floor after missing a full month due to an ankle injury. The nation's number 1 junior looking healthy and active on the floor. On the other side, Ion Brown Miller with 17 points to lead all scorers. Halftime in New Brunswick. Thank you for joining us, and a hearty welcome for those who may be joining us for the first time here around the GMC Hoops Game of the Week, powered by RD Plex Films. At the half there, you see the score 43-29. The Patrick School on top of the New Brunswick Zebras. James Corrigan here. The GMC Hoops Special Edition powered by RD Plex Films. Some of the stats in the first half, of course, all eyes on the returning Jonathan Kuminga with 13 points. Has added 1 assist as well. 4 points for Kirk Parsons, 6 for Adama Sanogo, 8 for Zarik Nutter, 4 for Noah Farrakhan, and that is the scoring for TPS. For New Brunswick, Ian Brown Miller with 15 points, 10 for Will Britton. And 2 for Javon Taylor, as well as Manny Rojas. Very interesting how this game came together on just 1 day notice. New Brunswick essentially put out a flyer that they were interested to play, and only one team responded, that being the Patrick School, who was looking for a tune-up game for the Metro Classic this weekend and wanted to get some minutes in game for Jonathan Kuminga before those big clashes against Huntington Prep and Wildwood Catholic down in Toms River this weekend. Athletic Director Michael Wolfthal putting that together just at the last minute, and here we are. Kuminga's top 10 teams, which he announced coming into the season: Duke, Kentucky, Washington, Florida State, Memphis, Texas Tech, Michigan, Georgia, Maryland, and Auburn. He will have no shortage of suitors and perhaps a top 10 NBA pick in 2022. But for now, getting back into the swing of things, he's been wearing that brace on his left ankle, and also of note is what is written on his shoes, writing the numbers 8 and 24 on his shoes, and the name of Kobe Bryant as well, honoring, of course, the late, great Kobe Bryant, who he and his teammates met back on December the 21st when they attended the Nets-Hawks game, courtesy of Kyrie Irving. And they met the legend who was with his daughter Gianna at the game. That's an image that many have seen Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna at courtside at that very same Nets-Hawks game. Jonathan Kuminga and his teammates meeting Kobe on that very occasion, and Kuminga honoring the Black Mamba with his sneakers tonight. New Brunswick will start things off coming into the third quarter. They more than hung tough against this much bigger Patrick School team in half number 1. Largely thanks to this man, the 5'10", Ian Brown Miller, working on the nation's top junior, Kuminga. The long 2 is true off glass. 17 for Brown Miller. He is undoubtedly a first-team all-county performer this season. The lob from Kuminga will find Sanogo, leaves it short, and leaves that one long. Adama Sanogo cannot finish around the rim on that occasion. Will Britton spins through the double. Javon Taylor will bully his way through but can't find the rim. But the Patrick School cannot corral. In 2013, the Patrick School faced St. Joseph in their last regular season game against a GMC opponent. Karl Anthony Towns was notably absent from that game, as rejected was Britton by Zarik Nutter. The lob a bit too far in front of Farrakhan. And it's taken away by Nadir Harmon. Harmon, coast to coast. Misses it off glass. Kuminga the rebound. Kuminga, baseball pass. Finds Farrakhan for the easy flush. Noah Farrakhan, the beneficiary of a terrific pass from Jonathan Kuminga. Brown Miller thought about the very deep three. Now we'll take a nearly deeper three. Noah Farrakhan not looking to shoot. Instead, it's Sanogo who makes up for his earlier misses. Leading up to 16 for TPS, 2 minutes into the third quarter. Brown Miller trying to go between the legs. Saves it to Taylor. Mentioned earlier, it's largely been a non-traditional schedule played this year by the Patrick School, as Brown Miller sees it swatted away by Adama Sanogo. Kuminga all the way. Kuminga not going for too much emphasis on the dunk, going off of his left ankle. Of course, not needing to on this occasion. His team up 18. Britton will try from deep. Kuminga, reverse layoff off the excellent feed, and the lead has now ballooned to 20. We get a whistle and the first foul of the second half. 5:07 left in the third quarter. Samir Sanu will call timeout for New Brunswick. And that gives us a chance once again to talk about the Express Athletic Center, the proud sponsor of GMC basketball. Located 216 Tigley Lane in Edison. Sports a full-size basketball court, a weight room, turf area with baseball, softball tunnels, on-site physical therapist, pro golf instruction, strength and conditioning coordinator, and an in-house apparel company, making it the most complete sports facility in the area. Monday, February 17th, President's Day Clinic. Only $60 if registered by February the 7th at the Express Athletic Center. New Brunswick working on the 2-3 zone of the Patrick School. Javon Taylor stepping back behind the arc and immediately had it put back in his face. Brown Miller wide open, misses everything. Harmon gets it off glass. But all the way down the floor already are the Celtics. Another easy jam for Adama Sanogo. 4.5 left in the third. The Patrick School competed earlier this year at the John Wall Invitational. They were at the Hoop Hall Classic, the first leg of the Metro Classic. They've been just about everywhere this year, and with good reason. Sanogo surely will score inside once again. They will be at the second leg of the Metro Classic this weekend. They've only played a handful of games against NJSIAA opponents this year. Of course, the two against Roselle Catholic as a nice pump fake by Harmon, but doesn't do him too much good. Sonogo puts it back. And Brown Miller lost it. It'll go back to the Celtics. The two against Roselle Catholic, of course. Games against St. Augustine, Trenton Catholic, and Newark Eastside, the only other games against NJSIAA opponents this year for the Patrick School. They've played two against St. Benedict's Prep. They've played the Hun School. They've played Blair Academy and Olympus Prep as well to go with their out-of-state games. Sharik Nutter working in the post. Looked like he may have gotten undercut, but Sonogo cleans it up with ease. Harmon looked like he landed, but instead it's taken by Nutter. Nutter to the rack. And a track meet has broken out here in New Brunswick. The Zebras undermanned without Tajay Moore, the Rutgers football commit, suspended today after being ejected in his last game. Plenty to play for New Brunswick going forward as Kuminga lobs it to Sonogo, and the finish came in the end. 2.5 left in quarter number 3. The prowess of the Patrick School has shown through here in this quarter. New Brunswick looking still to capture their first division championship since 2002. A couple of key games they'll need to win in order to do so. A game against Sayreville tomorrow and against Colonia on Saturday. The crossover off the legs of Kuminga, taken away by the nation's top junior. Nice feed to Nutter. It'll be the Patrick School and Chris Chivanis calling the 30-second timeout. The lead up to 30 for the Celtics, 1:55 left in quarter number 3. Last season, the Patrick School just 17-10, lost in the Union County title game to Roselle Catholic, and lost in the quarters in the non-public North B section to Hudson Catholic. The Celtics 2 years removed from their last TOC championship. Well, this year 3 years removed, back in 2017, led by Nick Richards. The Celtics never too far removed from success on the hardwood. It's been the case for quite some time. Sonogo up to 16 points. Kuminga with 12. And Kuminga on the bench. A completely new 5 for the Patrick School. Brown Miller weaves his way through, finds Britton on the wing. That's a 3. Britton tracks it down. Tajay Welcome, he puts up the triple. First look for the Patrick School as the ball will go back to the Zebras. First look for the Patrick School at Sebastian Cordoba, number 21, in white, the senior. Brown Miller catch and shoot. Mohamed Sal back in, the 6'8" senior. Jalen Irby back in as well, number 14. Sal all the way, the finger roll. Under a minute left in quarter number 3. Brown Miller at 5'10", just trying to survive through the trees. Britton's runner is short. And the big man from China throws it away in the end. Chris Zhao in 2018 at the FIBA U17 World Cup averaged 12 points and 9 rebounds. He scored as many as 18 points this year, that coming against St. Benedict's Prep. 30 seconds left in quarter number 3. Welcome. Josiah Brown goes in. Welcome has it on the perimeter. Harmon the pump. Now he fires. First points in some time for the Zebras. 8 seconds left. Irby with 4. Irby almost stripped, but the whistle is blown on Brown Miller. 2.4 seconds left. That's the first foul of the quarter on New Brunswick. There have only been 2 total. 1 on each team. A very clean quarter. Zhao will fire at the buzzer. All Patrick School in the third quarter. That statement is as big of an understatement as you can imagine. 68-36, the Celtics on top of the New Brunswick Zebras. This is a presentation of GMC Hoops Basketball, courtesy of RD Plex Films. This game also being brought to you by Lots of Balls, the gourmet meatball destination you never thought you needed, but the family atmosphere that you have always desired. Mix and match your meatballs for just $24. Can feed as many as 3. Family style, just $35 per person on 25 New Street in Metuchen. Head to Lots of Balls for meatballs just as your grandmother made. For the fans watching from Middlesex County, a lot of anticipation for this year's GMC tournament. The seeding meeting coming on February the 13th. Super Sunday is the following Sunday. It will take place at Middlesex County College. The first round will come on that Thursday. And we will have all the coverage of the GMC tournament. Super Sunday the 23rd, the first round coming on the 20th of February. Fourth quarter underway, Kuminga on the bench, but Cordoba knocks down the triple. I'd be very surprised if we saw Jonathan Kuminga appear in this fourth quarter. Brown Miller will respond with a triple of his own. It is 71-39, 30 seconds into the fourth. The Patrick School, I believe, has accomplished what it's needed to tonight with Jonathan Kuminga, getting him back into the flow of a real game. And he looks to be rearing and ready to go this weekend at the Metro Classic. Brown Miller lost it. He picked up his 20th point with a three-pointer a moment ago. This is now his 9th game this year, scoring 20 or more. All the way, getting the bucket and the foul, Jalen Irby, the junior. So Irby will shoot one. Coming into this game, Irby has appeared in just 6 games, scored 14 total points. He completes the three-point play. Minute gone by in the fourth. This is not a particularly deep New Brunswick team. Even by the standards of the GMC, normally this year we've seen them go 6 or 7 deep. The addition of Will Britton certainly helps as Taylor fires from deep and connects. Javon Taylor, the transfer from South River last year, poked away, taken by Welcome. A kick ball will keep it with the Zebras. Javon Taylor was on a high-powered South River team last season. This is his 7th appearance for New Brunswick after sitting the requisite 30 days. The additions of Britton and Taylor have helped the depth issue of New Brunswick, but Missing Tajay Moore due to suspension certainly hurts. Harmon, the 10-footer. Played down to 30 for the Celtics. Mutombo threw it away, and a 3-second violation is called first. The rivalry that has defined the Patrick School during the tenure of Chris Chavanis, without a doubt, is the one between them and Roselle Catholic. In close to every season, they have met in the state tournament. As Brown Miller misses the triple, the jump ball will give it back to the Zebras. A delay and a talking to Taji Welcome. And just about every year, the Patrick School and Roselle Catholic have met in either the Union County Championship, as Brown Miller went for the fancy pass. He'll be bailed out by the kick ball. And just about every year, they've met in either the Union County Final or in the state tournament. The last decade largely dominated by the Roselle Catholic Lions, winning the TOC title in 2013, 15, and 18. Taylor takes the baseline and is fouled, just the second team foul. Harmon will lob it to Javon Taylor. The turnaround that New Brunswick has made in the last couple of years has been nothing short of astounding. Before Samir Sanu took over these Zebras, in the 3 years prior, they were a combined 1-41 in the GMC White Division. As Brown Miller continues to shine for New Brunswick now with 23 points. The win total in the White Division has doubled every year of Sanu's tenure. And this year at 8-1, primed for their first division title since 2002. A deep three for Brown Miller, a heat check without a doubt. Welcome will track it down. Taylor will fire. Brentner Mutombo brings it down. 6'11" junior, making his 4th appearance of the season. 6 offers he has from power conference teams. Cordoba misses the 3 short. Brown Miller the other way. Gallops through, and it's whistled on the floor. Timeout called by New Brunswick. A reminder that this game is brought to you by Civilli Cucina Italiana, where every Sunday is family style Sunday. Just $30 per person, the best portions at the best prices. 154 Main Street in Metuchen. The premier Italian restaurant in Middlesex County is Civilli Cucina Italiana, where every night is a feast. And it's been a feast here tonight for the Patrick School Celtics on top of New Brunswick. 74-47 here in the 4th quarter. James Carrigan here. Thank you all for joining us. A big shout out to Adam Zagoria, who has helped to shout this stream out. And the return game for Jonathan Kuminga. With 4:12 left in the 4th, he is very likely done for the day. The transfer from Our Savior New American High School. And surely that will be a another talking to for Tajay Welcome, the referee asking Samir Sanu to remove him from the game after slapping down on the hand of Muhammad Sal. And Samir Sanu will oblige, and Josiah Brown will check in. Just a sophomore at 5'9" is Brown. Brown Miller spinning on Irby. Finds Britton on the ring with no room. Room for Brown Miller. He never needs too much room to put it up. 26 points for Ion Brown Miller. One of his best outputs of the season as Sal gets the easy layup on the other end. His season high 28 Brown Miller's is on 3 different occasions. New Brunswick right now, the number 4 ranked team in the JMC Hoops rankings behind the top ranked St. Joseph, number 2 St. Thomas Aquinas, and number 3 Carteret. Brown Miller again. Looking for his first 30-point output of the season. That would have gotten him to 29, and Chris Chavanis will talk things over with 3:16 left in the fourth quarter. Mentioned before, the Patrick School will be, in all likelihood, the number 2 seed in the non-public North B section, which means that they and Roselle Catholic, the number 3 team in New Jersey, will in all likelihood meet in the semifinal round, where Gill St. Bernard's, the number 1 seed, would avoid the 2 in the semifinals. Just received word that Ion Brown Miller is up to 1,494 points on his career. He is 6 away from 1,500. Brown Miller, one of the more prolific scorers in the history of New Brunswick High School. Chris Chow can't finish at the rim, but Bretner Mutombo does. Brown Miller can't connect from 3, which would have given him 1,497 in his career. Chow swats that away. Chris Chow, the internationally renowned player from China, listed at 7 feet by the team, averaging nearly 8 points per game. Deep 3 from Will Britton. New Brunswick will, in all likelihood, receive the number 2 seed in the Central Jersey Group 4 section. Chow gallops through, and he's called for the travel. Middletown South will be named the top seed in that section after the cutoff this Saturday. Britton will try again from well beyond the arc. The lead now down to 22 for the Patrick School. Just 2 minutes left in this game. The Patrick School turns it over. 16 points now for Will Britton. In just his second game as a Zebra, he's scored a combined 30 in both of his games, and Ion Brown Miller now has 29 points and is 3 points away from 1,500 in his career. Sao nearly had it poked away. Mutombo recovers for the finish. This is a Patrick School team that obviously can match up with anybody in the state and well beyond. So much to determine is Brown Miller going for 1,500 right there. Camden, of course, the new #1 team in New Jersey as of last week. The likes of Manasquan in Group 2, perhaps a TOC contender in their own right. Only lost to Roselle Catholic this year by 2 points. Sal can't get it off glass. And, of course, in the non-public South B section, Wildwood Catholic waits in the wings. In non-public A, Bergen Catholic, the defending TOC runners up, among others. Under a minute left here in the fourth. Brown Miller for 1,500 in his career. He banks it home, and there it is, 1,500 points in the career of Ian Brown Miller as a New Brunswick Zebra. And they will stop the game and make an announcement. The fans recognize the occasion. We don't see a lot of players in high school get to 1,500, especially in the GMC. That man has earned it, every one of them, at just 5'10". He has worked as hard or harder than anyone to overcome his size and to step up as one of the best in Middlesex County. And he gets a nice high five and a hug from Jonathan Kuminga, the nation's top junior. 8 3-pointers in this one for Brown Miller. There's certainly more to come this year for him, but always nice to stop and smell the roses and appreciate what you see in a player. We saw him earlier this year on this broadcast against North Brunswick, where he all but carried his team to that victory in double overtime. And he's taken out for what will be the final time in this game. A hug from his coach, Samir Sanu. He'll be named this year to the all-county team for the second time. And few deserve it as much. 20 seconds left here in the fourth. Unlikely to see the Patrick School put up a shot. They will move to 14-5 this year. New Brunswick will drop to 13-3. Plenty more to play for both of these teams. New Brunswick going for a GMC championship and will go for a state sectional championship as well. The Patrick School, much larger aspirations. It's TOC or bust for the Celtics. And their performance tonight will not convince too many otherwise. They defeat the Zebras of New Brunswick 80-62 in Jonathan Kuminga's return. And that will do it for us. Kuminga looks sharp today, preparing for the Metro Classic this weekend and the postseason to come. Thank you to Greg Machos, the head of GMC Hoops. Thank you to Ryan DePaul, the head of RD Plex Films. Keep an eye out on social media at GMC Hoops on Twitter. And follow me on Twitter at Real Corrigan for all the latest in high school basketball in Middlesex County. Until next week, we will see you soon. The Patrick School victorious